So I'm sure some of you have probably heard cars making sounds like this. Well, in the car community, these sounds are commonly known as pops and bangs. But how exactly do cars make these sounds? And does making these sounds mean that your car is powerful? So first of all, these pops and bang sounds are not anything special or anything extraordinary. It's just basically fuel exploding in the exhaust areas of your car, whether it be in the exhaust manifold or the exhaust pipe. So the second question now is, what business does fuel have exploding in the exhaust areas of the car? Because we all know that fuel is supposed to combust or explode in the cylinders of the engine, not in the exhaust areas. The exhaust areas is supposed to serve as a passageway for the gases that comes out when the fuel explodes. Well, for the most part, people intentionally make the fuel to get into the exhaust system of the car so that it can explode and make that pop and bang sound. So here's an idea of how they do it. So we all know how a normal engine works, right? The intake valve opens, allowing fresh air to get into the cylinders. After that, the fuel injector squirts some fuel into the cylinders to mix with the air. From there, the intake valve closes, allowing the piston to go up to compress that mixture of fuel and air. Once the mixture is compressed, it is then ignited by the spark plug. The ignition of the mixture will cause an explosion, which will push the piston down. After that, the exhaust valves will open, the piston will move up to push the gases that came out from that explosion out through the exhaust valves into the exhaust pipes, then out of the car. So how exactly is the engine even able to know which time it's supposed to squirt fuel, which time it's supposed to spark? How is the engine able to know all of that? Well, it's because of the ECU, which is the engine control unit. The ECU is kind of like a computer system that has been programmed to tell the engine what to do and which time to do it. So for the people that modify their cars to have these pops and bangs, all they do is that they just reprogram the ECU of their cars. And here's what they reprogram the ECU to do. So what they do is that they delay the time that the spark plug is supposed to spark, and also the time that the fuel injectors is supposed to squirt fuel. Meaning that by the time the ignition of the fuel will happen, the exhaust valves will already be open. And which also means that part of the explosions will get through the exhaust system of the car, which you get out of the exhaust pipes and make that pop and bang sound. Anyway, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you guys in the next one.